Hello and welcome back to the official TicketyBot YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going over the new updated TicketyBot dashboard, and I'll be showing you how to set it up on your Discord server. So first of all, invite the bot to your Discord server. Head to tickety.top, or you can find the link in the description down below. Then you're going to want to click on invite Tickety. Then it will lead you to this page. First, you have to select what server you want the bot to be invited to. Then you will have to give the bot permissions to your Discord server. And don't worry, this is 100% safe as it's verified by Discord. To finish off, click on authorize, and now the bot has been added to your Discord server. Next up, click on dashboard. You're going to have to click on authorize to log into the website to go to your dashboard. On the dashboard, you will see all the servers that you have managed server or administrator permissions on, and you'll be able to either invite the bot to the server or manage it if the bot's already in. Since we've already invited the bot to our Discord server, we're going to go ahead and click on manage. And now that we've landed on the server dashboard, first you'll see your overview, which displays your server stats for free. It's very simple to understand. It shows you the created tickets, closed tickets, renamed tickets, and lastly claimed tickets. Moving on to the next section, which is Bot Personalizer, where you can host Tickety from your own custom bot and customize its whole appearance. In the future, we might make a video explaining deeply how it's done. Next up, we have settings, where you can modify the ticket's general settings to your desire. Over here, you can set the admin role, which will be the role that has access to all the bot's admin permissions. For example, I'm going to use owner role, which now only gives permission to users with that role to access the bot's admin permissions. You can also choose the language you prefer the bot to be in from a variety of languages, but for the sake of today's video, I will use English. You can also add a command cooldown as however you like it. You can also customize the embed footer that is displayed in every embed sent by the bot. And you can also choose a logging channel where all the new changes, updates, and commands done by the bot will be displayed. And you can also disable logging if you wish so. For the sake of this video, I will enable it and I'll choose a channel that I made earlier for this video. And over here you can disable stats fields, which hides the statistics on the user info and server info commands. Next up is autoresponders, which is a very special feature. To enable it, you have to create a new autoresponder by clicking on this plus sign, and you have to fill in the fields and settings in order to create one. So for example, I will put how can I support this channel. You can also edit the trigger match percentage, but I would rather keep it on default. You can also add ignored channels, so for example, if you have an announcement channel and you don't want the bot to respond to the trigger there, you add the announcements channel to the list. And you can also set the bot to reply to the trigger only in tickets, and make it delete the trigger message when the bot responds to it. And you can set it as an admin role only trigger. From over here, you can make the bot delete the response it sends after a period of time, and if it's set on 0, it will be basically disabled. And you can choose whether you want the bot to send the message in an embed or not, and from here you can add the response. So for example, I will respond to the trigger with by using our bot. And when you're done setting everything up, you have to scroll all the way up and click on create. And now as you can see, your trigger has been created. And now if you go to your Discord server and type how can I support this channel, there you go, it works perfectly. So the next section we have is configuration. First we have the general settings. From here you can change what's rated on the drop down menu handle, and you can fully customize the footer from changing the text to changing the image. And on advanced settings you can make the bot give you a warning when you reach the maximum amount of tickets opened, which is 500. And you can sync permissions on move, which means that your ticket channel settings will be synced with the category settings you move the channel to. Moving on to close settings. Over here you can fully customize the close embed that is sent when using the ticket close command or interacting with close ticket button. And you can enable whether you want the bot to send the user that the ticket has been closed or not after the ticket gets closed. And whether you would like there to be a button to save transcript or not. And from here you can also customize the default close reason, enable transcripts in all tickets, require reason to close, or confirm close. I would definitely recommend enabling confirm close as it helps in avoiding misclicks within the ticket. Next is actually one of the most unique features ever, because when the ticket has been resolved and closed, the user gets sent a link to give the service a rating and leave them good feedback regarding their services, and it looks something like this. As you can see, you can give them a star rating and write them feedback, but if you want to disable it, you can simply disable it from here. Next is the ticket command, and by enabling this, you're enabling that people can open tickets with the ticket command, and when the command is done, it shows this embed and you can choose what panels you want to display for users to choose from when creating a ticket using the command. And last but not least is auto close settings. You can set it to close the ticket when the user leaves the server, and with this you can enable and disable the auto close feature. And you can also set the bot to send a reminder in the ticket that the ticket will be closed soon, and you can also set the time that the ticket will be closed at after the timer has been sent. And lastly, you can fully customize the auto close reminder embed. And now we get to the panels part where we create the tickets. So to create a panel, click on the plus sign over here. So first of all, you have to set up the panel's name. For this video, I will name it Mute Appeal. And for supported roles, I will choose owners. And now people with that role will be able to manage tickets. Linked panels is made for multi-panels. I will show you how to create a multi-panel when I'm done covering all the ticket settings. Panel category will be the category that your tickets will be created in. And threading mode is basically making a private thread instead of creating a whole channel for that ticket. It's an advanced way to use tickets, and it should look something like this. And over here you can customize the ticket generation settings like the name of the channel and the created reply message. And for the role required to create tickets, I will set it as members so that people can only create tickets when they're verified in the server. And you can set who you want to see the ticket, the user and the claimer of the ticket, or the whole support team and the user. And you can change the ticket limit per user. I would recommend keeping it on 1 to avoid spams unless you have a specific reason for it. You can also allow users to close tickets and enable the claim button so that tickets are more organized. And you can also customize the ticket message embed and the welcome message embed for absolutely free. And from here you can make it mention the support roles and the user who created the ticket and the utility buttons, which are claim, close, and etc. And that it pins the welcome message when the ticket is created immediately. And next you can customize the create ticket, close, and claim buttons however you like. And now this is one of the best features ever, because with forms you can ask the user creating a ticket questions to get information about something or about their issue before the ticket gets created. So for example, I will create a question called what's your name, and for the placeholder I will put enter your name. Now that we're done, we can go all the way up and select the channel to send the ticket to and click on publish, and let's test it out. So as you can see, the panel has been sent to the channel, and if we click on the create ticket button, it asks us the question that we set up. And now the ticket has been created, and over here it shows the answer to the question that was asked before the ticket was created, and it mentions the support role and the user, and it pins the welcome message like we enabled. And when we click on the close button, it asks us to confirm that, and then it asks for a reason. I'll make it resolved for now. And when it's closed, it sends the user this message, where it shows the close reason, the transcript, and the rating link. Now let me show you how to create a multi-panel, which is a ticket with more than one button. So first of all, let's create a new panel and let's name this one report a user, and choose the same support role and also the same ticket category. And lastly, the role required to open tickets. But before we create the panel, let's scroll all the way down and change the button label to report a user. And let's for example make the emoji a cop, and the button color to red. And you can set the rest of the settings however you like. And now when you're done, scroll all the way up and click on create. And go to the first panel we created and click on edit. And add the panel we just created to the linked panel field, and now send the panel to the server. And now let's check it out. As you can see, it looks great and it works perfectly. And the next section we have is logs, where you can view all your closed tickets and their transcripts. And now we've reached the application section, where you can create an application panel. So to create an application panel, you click on the plus sign, and this is similar to creating a normal panel, so it should be easy to understand. You can customize the panel name, review role, which is the role that gives people the ability to review applications, and app channel, which is where the applications get submitted. And over here you can customize application creation reply message, role required to apply for the application, limit of applications per user, and you can also add submission time limit. And when the application is submitted, you can enable mentioning the reviewer's role, modify answers before submitting, and pause applications. And of course, you can customize the application's embed and the panel button as however you like. And same with the information message that gets sent when the user has started filling out an application. And last but not least, finish embed, which is sent after submitting an application. And now we get to the application creation part, where you have to set up the application's questions. It's very simple. You click on create a question, then you enter the question. For example, what's your name? And you can enable whether it's required or not, and if it's a multiple choice question. For multiple choice questions, you write an answer and press on enter, like this. And you can customize the minimum and maximum choices required. And now scroll all the way up and select the channel to send the application to, and click on publish. And let's test it out. So as you can see, it has been sent to the channel, and if I click on start application, it sends an application to my DMs, and I get to confirm start the application or cancel if maybe it was a misclick. And now as you can see, I get a drop down menu of all the choices I can choose from, and when I choose one, it moves on to the next question, and if there are no other questions, it submits the application. And you can go to the channel that you set for applications, and you can view their application, their history within using the bot in your Discord server, and you get to deny it or accept it. When you hit accept or deny, you then need to provide a reason, and when the application gets accepted or denied, the user gets DM'd with the results and the reason. And moving on to the last part of today's video, which are the premium features. So if you go to the premium tab on the website, you'll find the premium plans. There's a monthly plan, a lifetime plan, and a yearly plan. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll find the features that you get for buying premium. And the extra features you get for being a premium user are remove branding, auto close inactive tickets, unlimited panels and custom commands, unrestricted access to forums, premium API, unlock all premium commands, unlock all locked dashboard features, and last but not least, custom bot feature. To purchase, click on this button, then you'll need to choose what server you want to buy premium for. And you can buy an add-on for the custom bot that costs $1.50. And you can also support us by donating $10 to our website, then click on purchase and follow the instructions to complete your purchase. Thanks for watching the video. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Make sure to invite the bot to your server and make sure to like the video and subscribe for more videos like this. And see you in the next one.